What's up? BigHerc916. Positivity, motivation, never settle for average. You know, we do it over here. I haven't really been deep into the P. Diddy trial. I've heard little clips here and there, so I'm not going to go all the way into the narrative. I've talked about the whole P. Diddy situation previously, but one thing I will say is that when you talk about the crime of sex trafficking, if you're flying somebody into your town or city for sex and you're paying them, whether they consent or not, it's sex trafficking. If you're paying an IG model, if you're paying an OnlyFans girl, if you're paying for her to come to town with the purpose of having sex, you're sex trafficking. And if you are utilizing drugs to facilitate the sexual acts, that is considered in furtherance of the crime. And you might want to change your get down if that's how you're getting down out there. I know there's been a lot of talk about all the different sexual acts that took place, how freaky P. Diddy was. I mean, beyond all that circus show for entertainment, when you look at what's considered the actual crime, I know some people sit back and think, well, she, was with this guy and she was down with it. But what a lot of people don't talk about is the grooming aspect. She was what, 19, 20 when he met her. They call it economic exploitation, when you use your money to influence a person to do things they wouldn't normally do or to compromise them. And then you have the aspect of drugs involved. You have a pattern of behavior which, if picked up by the feds and has shown to lead to criminal acts, which this relationship turned into something that has now been considered criminal, you can catch a case, man. There's a lot of things out there that when you see these things going on in certain circles, you got to make a conscious choice whether or not you want to participate in these things. And I'll tell you, like, a younger person sometimes doesn't have those abilities to make conscious choices, especially when they're under the influence of drugs. Being around the Hollywood scene, I didn't go to any crazy super celebrity parties, but I have seen people be taken advantage of, and some people don't have the willpower to say no. Some people want to fit in. See, one of the things they do to test you is people openly participate in doing drugs. And if you don't participate, then it shows that you may not be down for other things. And I've seen this multiple times. People doing blow in front of you, people, doing just, Molly in front of you, people doing stuff to see, hey, you down with this? We're having a good time. And if you just sit back and you're like, I'm cool, you're just drinking some water, they call you a square. You don't fit in. And just because, somebody was at something doesn't mean that they were necessarily involved in all the dirt. You have some people in Hollywood that are squares. Some people that enjoy, being social, but it doesn't mean that they're participating in all the activities. There's a lot of snakes out there, man. A lot of guys that take advantage of men and women that want to be down, that want to get ahead, that looking for an opportunity, but you got to think like, is these opportunities worth participating in some of these other activities? And I'm not here to judge a young woman who made certain choices and decided that those choices weren't something she wanted to no longer want to participate in. Um, you have a lot of people, you wonder why they're drug addicts, alcoholics. They feel like shit, man, because they done sold their souls, man. Hollywood's a dirty game. It's a dirty game. It can be very ugly. You just got to watch the choices you make. And for young people who, you get around people and you feel like, wow, this is an opportunity and you don't want to mess it up, you got to think like, is this opportunity all that it's cracked out to be? People that you looked up to, you find out aren't who they say they are, and they're really something totally out of the box, something deviant. And you just got to watch yourself, man. I haven't met any of these people personally. I'm just from the outside talking in, excuse me, from the outside looking in. But seeing how just the entertainment industry is, you just got to watch yourself, and you should always have that at least one person you can turn to hopefully guide you through certain situations or give you advice or kind of steer you in the right direction, man. Because it's just a lot of people taking advantage of each other in this situations, man. And some people don't want to say nothing because they want to be able to still get the invite. So we'll see what happens. We'll see, how this plays out. I don't have any skin in the game. Um, I don't have anything favorable to say about a man that beats a woman, a man that um, you know exploits a woman against her will. I'm not like, that's never been my thing, and I think guys that do stuff like that are garbage. You know what I'm saying? If you can't get her the right way and she's not down, she wants to leave, let her go, move on. You know what I mean? It ain't worth it, but not everybody thinks the same, man. So we'll see how this plays out, you guys. Leave a comment. Let me know what you guys think. The only reason I'm talking about this because it's hot on YouTube. People are like, oh, you still talking about, man? Look, man, you watching on all these other platforms. When I talk about some real deep stuff, it blows your head back. You don't share it. So I got to throw stuff like this on the platform to keep you entertained, to get engagement. So I figured I would speak very briefly on this, but more or less on the whole sex trafficking thing, and just knowing when to leave the party, man. Knowing when to just walk away and be called that square. Sometimes that's the best thing you could do, man. BigHerc916. Kid. Officially, I only got one real spanking my entire life. My mom did the best a 14-year-old could do, raising me with love and instilling values that will last a lifetime. I was a straight A student and lived to make her happy. So how did I go astray? A horrible stepdad that stole my self-worth and invoked fear turned me into a person that I struggled to overcome. From skateboarding to selling drugs, gang banging in juvenile hall, I got caught the same way many young promising men get caught up. I struggled to find my identity, getting mixed up in shootouts, crime, and the adult entertainment industry. This roller coaster continued as I juggled college, hustling, and Hollywood, eventually catching a federal bank robbery case. I found redemption in prison while serving a 120-month federal sentence and came out a man on a mission. I became a social media influencer with over 500 million views on YouTube and a life coach mentoring people all over the world. This is my journey against all odds. Visit BigHerc916.com to pick up a limited edition GTA poster signed by me for $10, or with your purchase of a Wig Splitter Porsche t-shirt, I'll throw in a free poster signed by me for you.